A combination of nursing students from Nipissing and a class of biology students from St. Joe's Scollard Hall learning about concussions and their short and long-term impact was taking place at the school on Wednesday morning.
We have good relations with Nipissing, so some Nipissing nursing students are in right now giving a presentation on concussions and their effects on teenagers, depression and anxiety, a big topic and epidemic that we're seeing in high school students these days, so it's a really important talk to have.
I mean, the thing is, and what it leads to can be sadly life-ending.
Absolutely, yeah, and I think we're seeing rates, that are, on an incline for depression anyway in students, so it's always good to have information come their way.
When you think about concussions, you always think they're related to some kind of sporting activity, but not necessarily.
Yeah, often in high school students they are because they're getting them while they're playing their sports, but yeah, it could be anything. It could be a minor car crash. People don't realize it doesn't take high speeds to cause a concussion, and they're really serious. I tell them it's brain damage. People just wave it off as concussion, but it is a form of brain damage.
I really like anything to do with the anatomy, the body. It helps lead to what I want to get into next year, so I find it really interesting.
Now, I know this presentation didn't start all that long ago, but is there anything new that you learned?
I'm learning a lot about the brain, which I haven't before, and like I said, it's really interesting.
People don't realize that concussions can lead to a lot of long-term damage. I guess you're finding that out as well.
I actually kind of knew that before. I'm an athlete myself, so I'm always really careful whenever there's head injuries involved, and I'm always careful to watch for it. The second someone hits their head, we're immediately taken out of the game.
Classmate Darby Paxton knows all about injuries in sports. She's had several concussions.
I've learned the concussion protocol has kind of changed a bit because when I was concussed, I would stay in a dark room and monitor how much I was sleeping and stuff like that. And I guess that's changed. You're not supposed to stay in a dark room anymore. And I'm slowly easing back into activity. And I thought I was just completely cutting it off. But yeah, I learned that.
What kind of impact has it had on you when you've had a concussion?
I remember the last concussion I had. It was right before basketball playoffs, and I wanted to be a part of that so badly. And I ended up my symptoms were cleared, but it was a slow process, not being able to come to school even and go to practice. So it gets kind of sad. You're just sitting there watching your teammates practice and playing, and you just have to be patient with it.